All right, everybody, welcome into Real Talk with Spoon and Puddin. Be episode 49. I'll be
Big
the
week, huh?
one and only Big Spoon.
Big Puddin. Yesterday you overslept, so we pushed it today, and then today I overslept. Almost didn't do it.
Yeah, how dare you?
How dare me? Well, I didn't hear you calling shit until that last time.
Do you woke up?
Yeah, and I was like, oh shit, I'm oversleeping.
The primary purpose of this podcast is to educate and share thoughts and opinions. When we have proof and evidence on the topic, it will be brought forth. This podcast does not constitute advice or services to anyone. Spoon and Puddin do not accept any responsibility or liability for anyone, for our guests, or anyone's comments or actions based on the material we talk about on the podcast. This podcast is for private, non-commercial use. And everyone should ascertain that the information we provide is correct and verified at all times. There shall be no adding to, editing, or reproduction of this podcast without prior written permission from Spoon and Puddin. You can reach us at Real Talk with Spoon and Puddin at gmail.com. What's up, Puddin?
Apparently oversleeping. Something you did the other day. Oh well, I had some chores to do in the yard. A little bit behind yesterday. Oh boy, what a busy week though. Did you see that list? Anybody see that alleged list from flight lists?
Well, I haven't seen the list, but I heard the list. They're starting to release part of the list.
Did you see you didn't see the video I sent you with the Hodge twins?
Yeah, that was the flight log.
That's the flight logs.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow.
But I heard there's names there.
There's more names to come out here. There's it got me sitting there thinking about the Hodge twins when they was doing their list or whatever. And I'm like, boy, there's more people on there than I thought. I mean, it was a good video though, wasn't it? Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Guilt by association in a way.
I couldn't believe some of the names that was on the flight log, but that doesn't mean all of the names that are on the flight log is guilty, but
no, I know that's why I said the alleged thing, but they visited Epstein Island. That's kind of not a place to be, if you know what I'm saying.
But just like my granddaddy always taught me, where there's smoke, there's fire.
I think Will Smith, and for me, I think that Will Ferrell and Will Smith were the two that was like the most shocking.
Was it Will Smith?
Will Smith was on there. Yeah, you didn't see him? They showed his picture. Oprah Winfrey. There was a lot of people on there that went to Epstein Island, and like the Hodge twins said, the alleged part. Doesn't mean they was doing children, but they were there.
But the thing is, though, you can be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and you're still guilty.
Well, that's what they said about guilt by association. It was a video come out Saturday. My mom sent it to me Saturday night. She's like, "Did you see it?" And I said, "What? I didn't see it." But they put the video out Saturday, and they went through the big old long laundry list. And
what's kind of like me and you visit a buddy. He's got 5 pounds of cocaine, and he's got an additional.
Yeah.
And the police break down the door. Guess what? We're guilty as he is.
Kinda.
We shouldn't have been there, right?
Yeah.
You need to take that or something?
No. Oh, go ahead.
So
no, that was huh?
Put them live on there.
Oh, please.
If somebody calls me, they're going live.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm trying to tell her I'm on the podcast. You know who it is. Same person that be calling you back to back. Hey, why ain't you answer?
Say, because I got better things to do with my time.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Say that one be yours, and let's see where that goes. Oh boy, she'll scold you. So let's see. Let me go. I'm going looking at what I sent you. The Palestine thing at East Palestine. I sent you that last night. I was looking at that before I went back to bed, which is why I kind of overslept, I guess.
The train derailment.
Yeah, I've seen videos, a lot more videos than just they say fish are floating up dead all over the place.
And where the derailment actually happened?
It was east. It says it was East Palestine, Ohio, which is eastern, like on the, the PA Ohio border. It's just south of Youngstown.
I seen the photo of blown up view of wide range of Ohio and nothing but like this big bomb black cloud.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, but no, I was seeing the photos yesterday being put out. People are putting out on Twitter, and they're talking about time to get out of Ohio. It's poison. They was doing some pretty funny memes.
What was all on that?
What? They don't. Well, there was a list that. Let me see. I'll read the list here.
Because that stuff's in the groundwater, it's in the air, it's in the drinking water, it's everywhere.
Let me see. It says vinyl chlorine or vinyl chloride, ethanol glycol monobutyl ether, ethyl hexyl, I'm probably butchering all this shit, acrylate, and isobutylene.
Put the list up there so everybody can see it in front of your camera.
Let's get it. See if I can get the. Sometimes it doesn't look so good. Chemicals on train according to EPA.
All right.
I took that.
All right, everybody, look at that list right there. That's what they're telling you that was on the train.
That's what they're saying is.
If that's what they're telling you is on the train, what other 5 or 10 chemicals are there also? Because they never tell you the full truth. Never.
They're showing videos of the fish. People are showing videos of the fish in the rivers and the streams and everything up there, and the lakes, the little lakes near it, just floating on top of the ocean or the water, whatever, I mean, it's not ocean, but I ain't made it that far yet. But yeah, well, wherever the hell it is, there's people were showing. Apologize. People are showing all kinds of dead fish, so the toxic effect is the fallout is going to be nasty from that.
That's what I'm saying. They're telling you there's 5 or 6 toxic chemicals on that.
I think 5's bad enough. They've admitted 5.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's pretty damn bad.
But it's probably more in the lines of 10 to 12.
Or
it's the 5 and it's about 10 times the amount of 5 that they're going to say that's on there.
Well, like I said, it's I was seeing the people slowly talking about it on Twitter last night, and I started doing more. I heard about it yesterday, but it happened days ago. They're not talking about it. They're trying to keep it quiet, hush, hush.
It happened, what, Saturday?
I don't know. According to what I was seeing news reports going back 7 days on YouTube.
7 days?
Yeah, 7 days. It's
and
like
that
they're trying to
still
keep
there?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's old footage or what, but it's like the fallout's happening now for the trade derailment. Sorry, man. But no, I was watching them videos last night, and that's why I sent you that one video. And I'm like, damn, man. Going to talk about that a little bit.
Thomas said, "What about the reporter that was jailed for asking questions?"
Who?
You talk about on this train derailment?
Did they derail somebody from it?
He said there was a reporter that was jailed for asking questions.
Oh, really? Yeah, I think they've been trying to cover it up. They're trying to keep it quiet because it's pretty bad. Apparently, some of them chemicals are bad, and it's bad news.
He gonna send us a link.
Oh, well, I'm sending you the link because they're trying not to talk about it. Like I said, but there was that, and then they had the list come out. I seen that Saturday. That was pretty. Like I said, I was pretty shocked by that list. I wasn't. There was a few characters on that list I wasn't shocked at all about.
I'm not really shocked by any of them.
Well, I mean, I'm not. Well, there was a couple I was like, Oprah Winfrey, really? What the fuck is she doing there? That was a little bit, her and Will Smith, and you hear all the things about Will Smith, and
Doug said that the reporter was claimed to be jailed for being too loud. Yeah, right.
Oh, Jesus. Too loud, whatever.
What law did that break?
The same non-law to Portland PD tried to go after Dillard for, right? Is that what you know what I mean?
Did I send you that footage? Did you see it?
I seen some of it. Yeah.
The police car.
Yeah, I've seen some of that.
He's going pretty high rate speed in the empty parking lot to hit a pole, don't you think?
Yeah. Hold on one second.
I wonder if they were drag racing.
He might have been drag racing with the bored Portland teenagers because they ain't got nothing to do in this little great place to be, Mr. Mayor. I was laughing at the mayor running from Dillard. That was funny. I seen that on Facebook. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that. Mayor's running away. He don't want to talk.
Here's the link.
Oh, are you sending it to me?
Well, it's on the comments. I'm gonna read. Reporter arrested while covering news conference in Ohio. The reporter was arrested after officers said he was being too loud while the Ohio governor spoke about a train derailment in the state. There's no law that says you can't be too loud. He was
I would say
interrupted
that
there.
if there is a law, it's what is it, between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. or something? Maybe an ordinance or something. Yeah, maybe an ordinance.
There's not even a noise ordinance that you could probably think of in this country that allows them to arrest you. They can cite you. Believe me, I've been cited for noise violation many times in my career.
Oh, back in your when you was a little hoodlum, driving around with your big speakers.
Yeah, back in my boom days,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see you driving around like that, Charlie. You just disrespect for the world, just piss on the world.
Hey, I got a noise violation twice in 5 minutes from the same cop one night.
Yeah. No, but that's pretty bad. That little, like I said, I can't believe they're arresting a reporter. He must know something.
A reporter is covering news conference in the train derailment in Ohio that led to the release of talk that he was arrested following a live shot on Wednesday after officers told him this damn thing keeps kicking off.
I'm just going through my stories from the stuff I told you, that I sent you. See, when did I send that? Damn, Wednesday. So we got, let's see, got the LeBron James sharing the Morgan Freeman video and then taking it down because, Black History Month and how it's a sham. Morgan Freeman did that. And then next, I got, by the way, on something on world news. If you're not subscribed to Heresy Financial, I would suggest you subscribe to the guy. He's pretty good. But he came out Saturday and he was telling, here's his video. Let's see. The difference between Fed printing and government borrowing. And the reason I sent you that 2 days ago, Spoon, was because it's real telling if you sit there and you pay attention to it. Because what he starts to show you is, according to the Federal Reserve, they admit that there's $21 trillion in circulation. I want to repeat that number. There's $21 trillion in circulation. The government has $31 trillion in debt. Just see what I'm saying?
That's the number they're telling us.
Because of all the inflation in the eggs is because of $21 trillion that they admit. The federal government has $31 trillion. So those two numbers are separate. You see what I'm saying? And there's much more numbers.
That's 52 trillion right there, because
well, there's many more numbers. That's the point where I sit there and I say, yeah, something's, because he's showing you the what is it, the Federal Reserve electronic, he calls it the Fred. It's called the Fred. He's showing you but it was, like I said, it's real telling when you're sitting there watching that, and he's showing you that. Let me go find that. If I can find it, I'll try to pause it on one of the screens. But he's showing you the data from the Fed. And it's like, yeah, there it is. I'll get to it and pause it. But anyway, when it gets there, there you go. So there's been that's 21 point, is that right? Is that right number? Yeah. That's how much the Federal Reserve is telling you is, in circulation. They're showing you about $21 trillion in circulation. But what he's saying in the video is he's talking about all this is these banks have loaned much more than 21 trillion. There's way more than $21 trillion floating around. And that's where I say the whole house of cards is there's you're not fixing nothing anymore.
No.
It's over. The only way you fix it, I seen the Houston one too. I didn't see the South Carolina UFOs. Yeah, well, we'll put that up on let's see. The UFOs they're really running out there. When they're releasing that, they're really desperate.
They're trying to get you off of what's really going on.
Yeah, they don't want you to know what's really going on. That's why that's the desperation. What I was talking about the other day with your neighbor, we were talking about a lot of this and the UFO things. Is we was actually having a conversation about it, and I said, what was going on in Congress last week? And then this week, what's been going on? They've been trying to distract everybody from it. So you had ATF. They were going after ATF hardcore. And then you've got Congress drilling the hell out of Yoel Roth. And actually, I was watching Forbes of this. This is on Forbes, and it says, who the hell do you think you are? Bobart, explodes at ex-Twitter exec, because they were censoring her account, and she got proof of it now. So Forbes is showing that.
Huh? Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. No, but so they were censoring because of the FBI, and that's the point, who's It's just all a big, it's like, just don't look over here. Don't look in Congress. Don't look at Congress going after ATF for its unconstitutional brace rule, trying to turn millions of people into felons for having pistol braces. Something that, hey, look, the reason most people have them is because they've been around for over a decade, and the ATF said it was okay. You know what I mean?
That's nothing new. Like back in, what was it, 2011, when they changed some of the gun laws that pretty much nicked me in the butt from being able to own a gun legally through their process, over a misdemeanor that happened, almost 10 years prior to that. So,
well, that's the point was,
this is their way, the government's way, the controlling way of trying to eliminate as many people as possible that can really own and possess a gun, what they claim legally and not constitutionally. So that way, if it ever come down to a fight, they could imprison most of the population, and there wouldn't be enough left to fight.
Well, like I said, the Second Amendment doesn't read that way, though, and that's what's coming at them.
They don't care about the Second Amendment,
though. The chickens, yeah. I said my chickens are fine. I lost 3 in the past couple of weeks. I don't know.
Hey,
there's a lot of rumor, huh?
Speaking on that, our city council did speak on the chicken and egg thing, and actually,
they figured out which one came first.
No, but they did. They have a limit on how many you can have in the city, and they said,
because they love you so much, because they got ordinances.
But they did say, since the price of eggs and everything's going up, that they need to readdress it and change that number to increase it. I was like, what? You're going to do something to try to help the people? What?
Well, the nice ones who followed their stupid ordinance and didn't celebrate their freedom on the 4th of July and shoot fireworks. We're going to be nice to you and allow you to have some more chicken.
You said you seen Thomas's Bayer video. He said,
yeah.
He said I went inside and tried to ask some questions. The mayor told me that I was an aggressive person, so he was going to step back. My issue is a dog has to go through a process before it can be deemed vicious, but almighty mayor can deem me aggressive.
Well, we got.
Did you watch the last council meeting? You should have watched.
No, I didn't. You watched it. I was hoping we spend a little more time on the national stuff before we went off in the weeds on the.
No.
I did think it was. Well, there was so much to me went on this week. Like I said, going back to, like I sent you the video of him talking about money. You've got money, it's a problem. We're to blame for all that trillions that the feds put into circulation. And again, that's just one figure. The 21 trillion that they're admitting, that's just one figure. They've loaned 31 trillion to the federal government. We have God knows how much the banks have loaned, and the mayor is a big borrower. I just to sneak off the road a little bit. The Portland's borrowed a lot of money. And they're trying to spend it like crazy. They're like, well, how do we spend it? We just want to spend it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, why? We got all this money in the, but when he was running for mayor, he was bragging about the city budget's balanced and we got all this money in the bank. And now he's trying to figure out, let's spend it on a splash pad. Woo!
which was a downright lie. It was
all, like I said, it's all a lie. But that's, we got all this money we got to spend. So you got Boebert going after, you got the money problem. You got Boebert going after Twitter. Last week when the first, oh my God, that is so stupid. The first spy balloon Y'all people. I mean, Chinamen get off an airplane and get on Google and look at satellite view of Google and tell who in parking spot at Food Line in Portland. What the fuck they need a balloon for, you motherfuckers? Jesus Christ. Huh?
A weather balloon.
Well, weather balloon. We got a weather balloon, but we didn't know Google had picture of parking lot.
Yeah.
Fucking assholes. Then you've got like I said, that was Saturday night that, you've got the conservative twins coming out. Now, like I said, people didn't surprise me on the list. Henry Kissinger, Kevin Spacey, didn't surprise me at all. Bill Clinton, no, he didn't have sexual relations with no women's there. Don't you remember his line? He didn't stick a cigar at Monica Lewinsky sniz.
Hey,
he what? He made that tubing a Lewinsky,
I believe he said he did not have sexual relations with anybody, especially her.
Really?
Yeah.
Just Hillary.
Her giving him a blowjob was not sexual relations from his part, right?
No, that was just.
Maybe if George Bush would have got a blowjob here and there, he'd have done a better job.
Well, I don't know. Hey, he did. I did have an argument with somebody, and there was a comment thread on some videos. I think the pistol brace ruling is done so bad. I honestly believe it's so bad that they're going to end up losing the SBRs off the NFA, off the registry. I think it's so bad that in a post-Bruin, post-West Virginia v. EPA world, that the court decisions, I think it's you got to ask yourself, did they really think they were going to get away with this? And they posted the rule. So, 1 second. I'll let you go ahead for a minute.
David said, I just seen a few city guys driving around in a brand new Silverado. Well, of course. I mean, we got to keep paying those taxes and the raised water rates and tap fees and this and that because they spend money like we're the Kardashians. I wish we were. We're far from it. Just like
we got the what?
Just like they want to spend $1.1 billion to somewhat renovate the OEO Center, which is.
I thought I hear it. What did you see on the city council meeting about that?
Well,
wasn't that one going down?
Thankfully, that Alderwoman Thompson and Alderman Woodall and Alderwoman Barnes, a few of those. Thankfully, Alderman McDowell, that they wanted to defer it and say they couldn't see spending the taxpayers' money on that much money on something like that unless they could see some see the plans and what all that was going to cost and see if this was actually a historical site and this and that. So I was really, really happy and really proud of those guys for actually, this time doing the right thing,
making the mayor not spend more money,
well, I mean, I give them so much flack when I feel like they do wrong. I got to give them praise when I feel like they did something good for us, because not saying that if that's a legitimate historical site and we're going to get our money back and we're going to preserve it, is it worth putting $1 million in? I mean, if the answer is yes or no, I mean, either way, you're going to be wrong or you're going to be right in somebody's eyes. So those questions have to be answered. And if it is a historical site, you ought to be able to get some grants and help from other places to where that $1.1 million price tag would go significantly down to the taxpayer. So they did a great thing. They did the right thing to defer it and try to get some. I just hope they don't come back and say, well, we looked at all the numbers and that's the cheapest it's going to get. We're going to go ahead and vote it through anyway. I hope they don't do that.
Well, they can't. I mean, they can afford it because they're not the ones that got to pay for the stupid shit. That's the whole point. What did you think about that? Y'all don't stand a chance. That one video where the guy was joking about the Hunger Games districts. What did you think about that video, Spoon?
I don't think I even watched it.
You didn't,
Did
you
you
know
send
what?
that?
It's just a short, yeah, I sent it to you. So y'all don't stand a chance against District 3. From Texas to Florida in the Southeast.
Oh, yeah. I watched it.
That was hilarious. Like, we're going to put Florida man on the front line. I don't think we need much more than that. That was pretty funny. I was just going through the list of things I sent you that I wanted to talk about, like the Boebert thing and Matt Walsh. That was another interesting. Before we move into the weeds on the local stuff, because you do got to talk about the meeting because you did go to it. But if y'all didn't see Matt Walsh in Tennessee, this is on Forbes. It was February 8th. Tennessee, if you're not aware, Tennessee's out to castrate your children. Tennessee House Health Committee holds a hearing on bill to ban gender alteration care on minors. So Matt Walsh he's from the Daily Wire, but he did a thing, What is a Woman? There's a document series about this. And he came in, they had him speak as an expert. And this jackass from the Tennessee legislature who's been to Columbia, has got a damn law degree, Mr. All degreed up, thinking he's smarter than somebody, starts asking Matt Walsh, well, what school did you go to make you smart? And, basically he's speaking out against, who do you think you are to allow this? You know what I mean? As a people, who are you to allow children to just make up their mind that one day they want to cut their peckers off? It's like, no,
What's like we talked about last week? Was it last week we was talking about what's his name from Texas?
Which one?
The one where he lost his son. Where his
his mama took him. Jeff Younger.
Yeah.
In
most of these cases, it's the deranged parents, and it's not the children themselves.
This is in your backyard, Tennessee. This is happening in your backyard.
You said he's working to ban, though, right?
Well, there's a bill going through the state house in Tennessee to ban minors being allowed for gender reassignment surgery, and these Democrats that are in the state house were trying to ask Matt Walsh what his credentials were for him to, and what his college background was to speak on the topic of who are you to speak out against these minors who want to change their sex.
They're a minor for a reason.
I know.
Let's take the college education bullshit and everything out of it. All right.
I don't.
If they're not old, if they're not old enough to buy a freaking pack of cigarettes or to buy a pack of beer, they ain't old enough to make the decision that they need to change sexes. End of story. Let's put some logic and common sense in.
So I'm not even talking about that. I don't give a shit what school you came out of. Just because you got a degree from a school doesn't make you smart. You know what I mean?
I'm talking about them dumbass Democrats who want to.
No, well, I'm not even talking about the dumb Democrats. I'm talking about any dumb politician. Just because you got a fucking law degree don't make you smart. You know what I mean? It means you sat through a school and pissed away hundreds of thousands of dollars that came from somewhere that, most likely you didn't earn or you're paying for now.
We've seen that by the city clown attorney we have.
Well, I mean, hey, he's an older feller. I mean, my uncle's an attorney, and I don't agree with my uncle all the time. But my uncle did work his way through college back in the late 60s, early 70s. You know what I mean? He did work regular jobs and pay for his degree. Now you got all these people coming out with these student loans and their parents paid for it, like this, whoever this, let me go I'll find the guy's name. I'll find that feller's name. because that Matt Walsh brutally just beat the snot out of that guy. No, it's not him. Find his name. Oh, darn, it's not showing his name. That's the feller, I think. That's the Democrat that's telling him, "Who do you think you are?" It was Jay something. They got his name covered up by the. Wait a minute. Maybe it's this guy. There it is. No, that's the.
Don't matter. He's a fucking politician. That's all that matters.
That's the guy. That was him. But the Hodge twins shown him yesterday and said, "Man, this fella, Matt Walsh gave him a political hanging." They was joking around about it. They said, "Man, his feet are still swinging in the state capitol from tying one on with him." It was funny. Let me see.
Jay Preston.
Jay Preston.
That's what Kimberly just said. Jay Preston.
So basically, that guy's tying one on, trying to talk about what your, what your background is. And he says, my background is not letting children mutilate their bodies without their parents' consent. And it's pretty interesting. But this is, like I said, this is Tennessee, just like you see the drag shows happening and taking place all over Texas. And it's like, if they can get away with it there, they can pretty much get away with it anywhere at this point.
Oh, we had drag shows in town here at one time.
Oh, I remember they tried. I will give the city credit on that. They shut a lot of that down from what was that stupid what was that cafe or whatever? My Time Cafe or
hell, I think so. I don't remember. Well, what got them in trouble was because they took it out on the streets. Whatever you do inside the building, you do it, right? So once you start spilling out on the streets where, you're interfering the everyday life of the community and the kids and everything else, that's what gets you in trouble. Now, if they would have had a big enough building that kept everything inside, they can keep on doing it. They can still be doing it.
Say the 10-star.
Dave said, well, you know what they are about in Texas anyway.
Not the rural parts.
Puddin likes Texas.
I like Texas is different.
Let's ask Puddin about his escapade in Texas.
Oh yeah. Do you think a 16-year-old can meaningfully consent to have a body parts removed? That was where Matt Walsh is. That was on the. So this is from the Tennessee Star.
Yeah, so, let's think of this logically, though, right? Common sense logically. We know the politicians don't. They will send your 18-year-old off to war. They would before that if they could. They cannot own a firearm. They cannot purchase a pack of cigarettes, and they cannot purchase a beer. But they'll be okay with a 6 or 7 or 8-year-old changing and getting a body part cut off and reconstructed to make them something else. Does anybody else? Does not the majority of people see the problem in all this?
I'm just saying they're trying to, it's almost like they're purposefully going to the reddest of red states. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to come into the state. Now, like in my discussion with your neighbor here the other day, I was discussing the point about how we've kind of slid from what seems like common sense in this world. And it's scary in a way. And he pointed out something interesting yesterday when we were having this discussion that, social media, since the advent of social media and Facebook, he was pointing out that, you're 3 times more likely to commit suicide, at least younger people. since the advent of social media because of online bullying or whatever it was. And again, it's people who take shit to heart a little bit much. And
well, they turn false realities into reality when it's not.
Well, they pay too much attention to what's going on the internet. It's like, no, you shouldn't.
There's billions of people that are on Facebook, I'm sure, and like Facebook, but it's not reality.
Well, I mean, my point was more or less, I was talking to him. We were talking about that. And what I wanted to say to you is I had a conversation with a dispatcher where I work now. And somebody who knows me and you, or don't know you, but knows Latimer. And we were talking about, like the Book of Enoch and the Nephilim or Anunnaki and all this stuff that comes 4,000 BC easy. You can trace it back to 4,000 BC, maybe even older. But the story there is known by this guy. And I sit there and I think, this story, it's older than the religious book, but you still cling to the religious book. And that was where I was telling your neighbor there yesterday when we was having this discussion. I'm like, what does it say about us as a species that everyone needed less communication and the belief in something that's most likely fiction? And the only place you have to go to look at is religion fiction is go back to history, go further back. When in doubt, zoom out, and you can see all the traces from ancient Egypt and ancient Samaria and Babylon and all that. You see all that stuff. And they told a completely different story.
Well, I'm not going to get in this debate this morning.
I'm not trying to go down in the weeds. No, I wasn't trying to go into the weeds on religion. I was trying to just say, what does it say about our species today that for centuries, what kept people in line was a story? You know what I mean? Greatest story ever told. Would you disagree with the comment of what people call the Bible the greatest story ever told?
Well, no.
Okay. Well, if you don't disagree with the greatest story ever told, think about it. What does it say about us as a species, as humans, that it was the greatest story ever told that kept people reasonably decent to one another? What does it say about people as a species? That was what was baffling in my mind, because if you,
I don't think that's the case necessarily, that the greatest story ever told kept people in line. I just think
kept people more cordial.
Well, until the world kept growing and the whole technology age, until it got so big, people had to be in line with people. They had to have conversations. They had to communicate. Today, and it pisses me off to no end that people cannot communicate. They can't have an adult conversation about anything, whether you're married, whether you're friends, whether you're enemies. People would rather ghost you or ignore you than have the hard conversation. Whatever happened to two people being able to disagree and still be friends or still get along? Whatever happened to all that? Social media.
Well, social media is what your neighbor was saying was when we were talking about this, he was talking about, you got politicians who want to blame the gun. It's the gun. They want to say, well, we got to ban guns because that's why people commit suicide. But what he was saying was, in the past,
people don't hang themselves. People don't hang themselves, poison themselves, jump off bridges.
No, what he was saying is, it's odd that teen suicides are up threefold since the advent of Facebook, but for some reason the politicians want to make the gun the problem.
Here's the thing: kids are not supposed to be on Facebook.
The real problem is Facebook. People not being able to separate that and push it to the side and say, "Oh, I don't give a fuck about that." That opinion's like a stinky turd in a fucking bathroom or something that you walk into. Oh, Jesus Christ! It's an asshole. Everyone's got one.
But they want to hit the root of the problem. Children are not supposed to be on Facebook anyway. you're supposed to be 18 or older. You hit that little box that says I'm 18 or older, right? So if you parents let your children on Facebook before 18, that's your responsibility.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of responsibility, but you've got I mean, it's kind of like, let's go after the tool instead of go after the problem. That was what we were, if social media is a tool, why ain't they talking about that? And when they do whistleblow or try to whistleblow on social media and show, they bring in the softest softball lobbers. You know what I mean?
But here, you got to think of it in dollars, right? If they ban guns from the American people, they still make money off those guns because they sell them not only to their own military, but all over the world, right? Social media, if they were to ban social media and close down some of these sites, look how much money they would lose because the people are not on there. The people don't have access to it.
Well,
do you think they actually care that the rise of well, mine goes blank.
Oh no. You've got a social media blinking now. I know you're tired.
I mean, do you think they actually care about the people and there's a rise of people killing themselves? Do you think they actually care about that?
No, they never.
Because they're all about population.
We're overpopulated. We're overpopulated. That was one of Crowder's big moments. What made him decide to go independent, more or less, is he said he went to a news conference in Mexico with Ted Turner, and he couldn't believe the uproar. How everybody just started screaming when they said we need to depopulate the planet. And everybody he said they were screaming and applauding like crazy. Because you know what depopulate the planet means. You know what I mean? And he's
coronavirus.
This is over a decade ago.
Well, I know,
but he said he was shocked. He's like, I was shocked. I couldn't believe. I'm sitting there looking at all these people. And I'm like, you know what that means? That means kill your family. People you supposedly care about. But
these people aren't smart enough to realize the people that they're killing is going to be them and their families. They think it's somebody else. It's not them.
No, it's not me. They wouldn't want to kill me.
No.
Dumb shit.
That's why when they come out with any of this bullshit, they grasp it.
I don't think so. There you go. I'll put it up. I like when the people are commenting on YouTube because I can at least read them. I can't read the Facebook ones. I don't pay attention to Facebook. That'd be you. But
do I think Mr. Diller would ever get justice? He's been falsely labeled in this town, and it sucks. If he will learn to,
he's got to learn to be more of a hornet's nest. He
take some advice and do it a little bit differently what he's doing. But yes, I think there'll become a time he will see justice because he's not the only one that sees the issues going on. I've told him from time to time, you need to stay calm, stay quiet, build up everything you got, and then hit them when they don't see you coming. And if you do that, you would get a lot more done. What he's gotten done so far. Yeah, he's still going to get it out there. I mean, it may take some time to get justice, but he'll get it. But what I'm saying about these politicians stuff, they grasp onto any little thing, just like the rise in people taking their own lives, and we got to ban guns. They grasp every little thing they can to fit their agenda to try to control and to take away our rights. It has nothing to do with they care about us.
Okay, there's his name, so y'all see it. Representative John Ray Clemens, Democrat, Nashville, District 55. People in 55, y'all need to get him out. He's he wants your kids to be able to cut their private parts off or stitch them up or whatever. Stitch them up. He wants one gender to cut them off and the other one to stitch them up and add them on. So, minors. But that was so anyway, sorry I did. I've been looking for that. I've been like trying to find it. I'm like, where's that guy's name at? I want to see his name so I can show him.
Well, Mr. Tennessee Living, I understand what you're saying because that's what they do. The clique, the good old boys, what they do, they try to turn everybody against somebody. Same thing. When I run for mayor, I had my meet and greet up there at a restaurant on the square, top of the ridge. And ever since then, the mayor and the chamber and a big group of people was trying to stay away from there and not spend their money there because they're upset that they allowed me to use their building. Who gives a shit? Move on. Be grown ups. I just think it's comical how everything's going down. But just like the mayor, I tried to tell everybody what was going to go on and what was going to happen, and almost everything that has happened. It's like when everybody says, "Well, what happened to the mayor? He's gone." Oh, you'll see him in 3 more years. Don't worry. When he needs those votes, he'll be all over social media. He'll be at every little town function. He'll be making up town functions. He'll be at the senior living center. Everything will be all over Facebook for everybody to say he's this great Christian leader. So just stay tuned. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, no, he'll be telling everyone, from his Portland, Tennessee page that he made.
Yeah, our city.
No, he's not delusional or narcissistic in any way, shape, or form, is he? You don't have a narcissistic mayor, running around screaming, Portland's a great place to be. Yeah, I guess if you got your fingers in every damn pie going on around the damn city.
Well, that's what I liked about that meeting this past Alderwoman Barnes. Everybody knows the city recorder, she's retiring. And that position is normally an elected position.
Oh, it is?
The board elects the city recorder. Well, the mayor wants to change it from an elected position to he appoints a position, right? Thought he had it all shoed up where everybody was just going to fall in line and vote. But Alderwoman Barnes started asking questions and pushing back on him, and they ended up deferring it. And let's see, who else was it? Oh, Alderwoman Thompson even agreed with her and was on her side about, looking more into it and trying to keep it an elected position. So that was just something else he was trying to take the power of, right? He wanted to be able to say, oh, I control all of it now. I can hire and fire. I can even pick somebody for this, even though it was an elected position. But his followers and his little group don't see it that way. But what I see, I hope this is true. I see that some of the people on that board now are starting to see through him and starting to understand what's really going on. I hope.
Well, I mean, you can hope. I just don't see where it's going to get you, honestly, anymore.
I mean, we got another almost 4 years. So Kimberly said, I guess everyone needs to be mad that the mayor used the venue beside of the Temple Theater. That's right. Whatever venue that is, nobody go to it. We got to boycott it. Because we don't like him, and we don't like anybody that likes him. Everybody's too
damn butthurt. I mean, hey, we went to Top of the Ridge the other day, a couple of weeks back, and it's pretty good. I was decently impressed by it.
If you're going to turn away, if you're going to turn your back on good food from a local resident with their small business in town because you're butthurt, I mean, that's if you can sleep at night, I'm sure they can too.
I mean, that's like I said. We can't. Like I said, I don't know nothing about it. I ain't. I don't know. Like I said, I don't go up there that much. I only been there 2 times. One with you, and when we went to go eat a couple weeks back.
Yeah, you gotta go more.
I don't know.
Mr. Tennessee Living, I like the mayor personally from what I know of him and having conversations with him. But as far as him being the mayor and running this town, he's a snake in the grass. That's all I can say. Everybody wants to say he's a great Christian man.
I seen it when I asked him about the fluoride and the way he did his politicking thing on the fluoride issue. I was like, you're just a piece of shit. Let's see if it don't end up on the agenda, I'm just gonna call you out for the rest of the time. As long as you're in office, I'm gonna call you a piece of shit, and I'm gonna keep going back to that one. You know, you as my witness, Spoon, seen me ask him on July 1st let's get fluoride on the agenda and let's talk about getting it out of water. Let's bring the facts forward and look at them and get with your alderman. That was his exact words, I believe, if I'm speaking correctly.
Yeah.
Get with I don't have an alderman. You know what I mean? You know, you have an alderman that you talk to and you asked a couple and did it and it never. I ain't seen it on the agenda. You know,
and I'm really disappointed because Alderman McDowell promised me like 2 months in a row that he'd get on there and still didn't get on there.
Well, like I said, you know, it never got on there because the mayor likes to poison your children, just like some of these Tennessee politicians down there like to let your children decide to cut their weenies off. You know,
that's a disgrace because some of us don't have nothing to cut off. I mean, we got to have everything, every inch we can spare. You know.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know anymore. We just had a lot of trouble, people. That's all there is to that.
You know what my daddy always told me?
What's that?
He said if I had one more inch, I'd have been a king. One less inch, I'd have been a queen.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, there's some fellers in the Tennessee Health Committee house that want to let people become queens for some reason without parental consent, knowing that they grow out of it. And that was, like I said, that's still, I mean, that's crazy though.
Well, just like they were talking about on Tim Pool. I mean, you talked about this, you know, when I was younger, I played with baby dolls. I had a baby doll, Mrs. Beasley. I love that baby doll to death.
Man, you see, you should have had one less inch so you could have been a queen.
Does that mean I wanted to be a woman? No, it helped me be a better father, I think, because I was a lover and a nurturer. Kids and children go through phases. Hell, as adults, we go through phases.
What, like, you know? I want to use my oratory and my Christian pastoral connections to be a mayor and not have a open discussion in the public square about is fluoride a poison or is it a positive? Poison or positive?
He will only speak on things he can control and in areas he can control. He goes on the radio where they let him control the narrative and throw him softball questions. He goes on the Chambers podcast where it's all pre-recorded and they can set it all up. But anything that's out in the open, whether it's on the square, our podcast, anything that is out of his control, just to have a open dialogue conversation, he don't want no part of it. And if you have a leader that is like that, sorry, you don't have a leader. That goes for the president.
Well, it's just, you know, I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't want to keep you up too late, Mr. Spoon. I know I was oversleeping this morning. That was my fault. But I know you said we're just going to do a short one today. I don't know. Like I said, it's, you know, things are getting crazy and, you know, you want to advertise your store, Mr. TN Living, you can, or your business. I don't, you know, we don't make no money out here. We didn't do this to make money. You know, it wasn't like we were going to come on here and say, we're going to be real professional. And no, we just a bunch of rednecks just doing whatever the hell we want to do. You know, I'm Florida, man.
If you want to put it out there, we'll say it live. That way everybody can hear it. That's up to you.
I don't, like I said, on Dillard though. He needs to calm down. He needs to get more evidence.
he will get justice, but it depends on how he handles himself, how long it's going to take for him to get justice. That's my opinion.
Oh, but we understand that you don't want to associate your business on here either, because I definitely don't make friends in this town. That's for sure. Now with my agnostic beliefs, I don't give a shit. I didn't come on here to make people try to like me. I came on here to try to make people think. That's what I try to make people do. I want you to thank people that, the Fed's telling you that chicken eggs are $6 a dozen because there's $21 trillion in circulation, but the federal government owes $31 trillion. Do some math. If there's only $21 trillion in circulation, how does the Fed have a balance of $31 trillion?
Yeah.
How does the government have that balance? Because there's only $21 trillion. They're lying. They're lying. There's so many other fucking numbers that they've got hidden, and nobody will audit the Federal Reserve. That's our problem.
Well, you know why?
Well, you'll find out exactly how much fucking money they've put out in the goddamn system.
As soon as you started auditing, you get taken out.
If you audit the fucking Federal Reserve, you're going to end up, I guarantee you, people are going to be like, $6 a dozen. We should be charging $600 a dozen. You know what I mean? Because there's so much more money that they've just, you know what I'm saying? Fuckers. I mean, just absolute shits, But we're the problem, and COVID money's the problem. So, but
COVID money, what's that? That's that extra special money, right?
That's the money that supposedly made chicken eggs go from sub $1 to $6 and $7, $8 a dozen. That's a big, huge tie in between with the chicken egg problem, because you've got people killing chickens like crazy because of there's an avian flu out there. We got to kill them. Okay, I don't believe that. But I'm about done for today, Mr. Spoon. How's you?
Well, yeah. Well, before I go, like I said, I want a special shout out to our city panel there of aldermen and alderwomen this week's.
Ones that gave a little bit of a task to the mayor.
This week's meeting, I thought they done a whole lot better job and seemed like they cared more about the people. And a special shout out extra special to Alderwoman Barnes and Alderwoman Thompson and Alderman Woodall, Woodall and McDowell. I hope that the direction it's going, it's going to stay, and they actually show and put the effort in that they care. Because how many times I've said that people just get up there and talk, and they're wanting their 5 minutes to get up and go on. And Alderwoman Thompson even suspended the rules and asked the guy from Airport Road to come back up and explain exactly what he was wanting and actually listen. So, I mean, that's a step in the right direction. So that's all you can do. If you ask and you get a little something and they're going in the right direction, what more can you ask for? So we'll just see if it proceeds down the line.
Well, you have to shut that executive down. I mean, only thing you can do, but they can sure shut him down. They can sure pull the wind out of his stupid sails.
Well, the power should be left on those seven, not the one.
The seven just say too much. They look like a damn choir standing behind their little preacher, doing whatever the hell he tells them to do. Too often that happens, and that's why I say you don't have representative government at all. So, but I guess we'll see y'all guys next week, huh?
See y'all next week. Hope y'all have a good week.
Thanks
for listening in.
Later, everybody.
For all the comments.
Yeah.
We appreciate all the people.